Ali, Ali, yeah. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for his blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for his blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for his blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for his blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for his blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for his blessings. Ali was the circle 7.
Islam, 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 Moorish America. Want to rise upon the 7 within the circle of justice, mercy, love, and right. And give all praises to the great God, Allah, Father God, Allah, and honors to his holy prophet, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, El-Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. We give honors to our Moorish kin once again, here, there, and everywhere, and therefore honors to all of you who are continuously honoring yourselves by being yourselves. We give honors to our Grand National Seal. We give honors to our Grand National Emblem, National Flag, Divine Constitution and Bylaws, and honors to all of you who are indeed a living manifestation and personification of everything that our Holy Prophet brought to make us a nation. But at this time, let us call forth our beloved Consul General of the Iowa Territory, Dr. Ta Ra Anpu Anibati Bey, that he may come forth to open up the way. Islam.
Islam, Islam, Islam. First, I'd like to rise and give our man of praise to Allah, honors to the Prophet, honors to our theocratic government, our World Council, our flag, seal, emblem, our divine constitution, our swift angels, muftis, citizens alike. Honors to all the Moors that are here in attendance, all the ones in the sound of my voice. And with that, I will begin with our committee and add that prayer, add that Moorish American prayer. Ya Allah abnu haru makunetaru. Ya Allah abhetheru. Ya Allah ma'atheru. Ya Allah hotep heru. Ya Allah haru. Ya Allah mayaterukuti. Ya Allah awajeje duty. Ya Allah patem sutek patem haru. Ya Allah bamaduti. Al-hedi subsistere abtu Ali. Ameen. Holy Isa. Ali Isa. Ali Isa. And that is to say, O Allah, the Father of the universe, O Allah, the Father of love, O Allah, the Spirit of truth, O Allah, the Spirit of peace, O Allah, the Spirit of freedom, O Allah, the Spirit of justice, O Allah, you are my protector, O Allah, you are my guide, O Allah, you are my salvation by night and by day, O Allah, through your holy prophet, O Allah, Drew Ali, Amen. Holy Isa, Holy Isa, Holy Isa. And after the completion of the recitation of our committee and add that Moorish American prayer, now read our Divine Constitution of Moorish America, Salvation, Our God, Unity. Act 1. The Grand Sheikh and the Chairman of Moorish America are empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of Moorish America. The Assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs, if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And it is known before the citizens of Moorish America. The bylaws. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7. And love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest because on the Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on the Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended to his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is a holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all citizens of Moorish America. No citizen is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All citizens must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all citizens must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. No organization of Moorish America is to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all citizens must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All citizens must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all uplifting acts of Moorish America. Moorish Americans must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of Moorish America. And then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his Father God Allah. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, peace and blessings be upon him, founding father and framer of the divine constitution and bylaws of Moorish America. And with the recitation of our divine constitution of Moorish America, I will now turn this meeting over to our Assistant Grand Secretary of State, Dindra Anita Kurtabay, Islam.
Islam. I am Dr. Dindra Anita Kurtabay, our National Assistant Grand Secretary of State. First, let me rise and give praises to our great God Allah. I give honors to our Holy Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to Act 1. I give honors to all my government officials. I give honors to our National Assistant Grand Chief for this wonderful class this morning. And I give honors to our Council General of our Dr. Tara Ani Beatty Bay. And at this time, I will be reading our chapter of the week, chapter 66, Whole Instruction from the Prophet, Misery. Feeble and insufficient as thou art, O man, in good, frail and inconstant as thou art in pleasure, yet there is a thing in which thou art strong and unshaken. Its name is misery. It is the character of thy being, the prerogative of thy nature. In thy breast alone it resideth. Without thee there is nothing of it. And behold, what is its source but thine own passion? He who gave thee these gave thee also reason to subdue them. Exert it, and thou shalt trample them under thy feet. Thine interest into the world, is it not shameful? Thy destruction, is it not glorious? Lo, men adorn the instrument of death with gold and gems, and wear them above their garments. He who begetteth a man hideth his face, but he who killeth 1,000 is honored. Know thou notwithstanding that in this era custom cannot alter the nature of truth, neither can the opinion of man destroy justice. The glory and the shame are misplaced. There is but one way for a man to be produced. There are 1,000 by which he may be destroyed. There is no praise or honor to him who giveth being to another, but triumphs and empire are the rewards of murder. Yet he who have many children have as many blessings, and he who have taken away the life of another shall not enjoy his own. While the savage curses the birth of his son and blesses the death of his father, doeth he not call himself a monster? The greatest of all human ills is sorrow. Too much of this thou art born unto. Add not unto it by thine own perverseness. Grief is natural to thee, and is always about thee. Pleasure is a stranger, and visiteth thee by times. Use well thy reason, and sorrow shall be cast behind thee. Be prudent, and the visit of joy shall remain long with thee. Every part of thy frame is capable of sorrow, but few and narrow are the path that lead to delight. Pleasures can be admitted only simply, but pains rush in 1,000 at a time. As the blaze of straw fadeth as soon as it is kindled, so passes away the brightness of joy, and thou knowest not what became of it. Sorrow is frequent, pleasure is rare, pain cometh of itself, delight must be purchased. Grief is unmixed, but joy wanteth not its alloy of bitterness. As the soundness health is less perceived than the lightest melody, so the highest joy touches us less deep than the smallest sorrow. We are in love with anguish. We often fly from pleasure. When we purchase it, casts it not more than it is worth? Reflection is the business of man. A sense of his state is his first duty. But who remembereth himself a boy? Is it not in mercy then that sorrow is allotted unto us? Man foreseeth the evil that is to come. He remembereth it when it is past. He considereth not that the thought of affliction woundeth deeper than the affliction itself. Think not of thy pain, but when it is upon thee, and thou shalt avoid what most hurt thee. He who weepeth before he needeth, weepeth more than he needeth. And why? But that he loveth weeping. The stag weepeth not till the spear is lifted against him, nor do the tears of the beaver fall till the hound is ready to seize him. Man anticipateth death by the apprehension of it, and the fear is greater misery than the event itself. Be always prepared to give an account of thine action, and the best death is that which is least premeditated. Islam, Islam, Islam. We will now turn everything back over to our National Assistant Grand Sheik, Dr. Pseudo-HIEROGLYPHS, METU Sepsuel. Are you there, Godman?
Oh, yeah, all is well.
Islam.
And gratitude, Goddess and Queen, and God, man, for opening up the way. Yeah, this is a grand drawing. We can't wait to hear what our Moorish kin and see what our Moorish kin had to bring forth to us. And well, without further ado and delay, this is a grand draw, and I'm your host instructor, Dr. Shahidi Money Mohadi Shabazel. And my ancient Comedian high name being the same as Dr. Shedawin Mintiel Mohamed Shepsuel. And we have a powerful, powerful measure to bring forth to our family in our Egyptian ADEPTUS research Sultanate session this morning. So without further ado or delay, we're going to call forth our scribes so we can see what it is they have to bring forth. Islamism.
Islam,
Grand National Secretary of State.
Islam, National Assistant Grand Sheik of Moorish America, Islam Family Online Scribes, Dr. Hatshepsut Tutankhamun Bey. First of all, I want to rise, giving all praises to our Father God Allah, giving honor to our Prophet, Noble Dura Ali, the last prophet in these days and times, giving honor to Act 1, to our Consul General of Iowa, Dr. Patara Anpu Ani Bati Bey, for opening our meeting according to law, to Dr. Dendra Ania Kurtabay, our National Assistant Grand Secretary of State, for reading our chapter, and to you, Dr. Shahid, our National Assistant Grand Sheikh of Moorish America, for hosting our E.A.R.S class this morning. It's been a grand assignment. Much gratitude to you. I'm going to share my screen. And let me know if you can see it.
Oh yeah, we see it very well. Vibration. That's what I'm talking about. Islamism.
Islam. We had an assignment, a very powerful assignment, choosing from the source materials mentioned in our last session to give an example of how the metaphysics of METU can be applied to your life in real time as it relates to the book of the universe, aka book of creation. So these are the three metaphysical symbols that I picked: purifying, being awake, and moral good. And if you notice, there's that golden cord of love streaming throughout, dealing with the focus on the studying of self, in particular, dealing with the higher self. For purifying, I had purifying must pave the way for love divine. And this is dealing with the study of self, myself, cleansing every negative thought within, as evil is not requisite to man. This symbol reminds me of the square, even though this is like a rectangular shape, but that's the first thought that came to mind. Straightening out the crooked places of the way and making the corners of our conduct square. Act 7 also states that all Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love. So that's what I thought in reference to this particular metaphysical symbol. The next one, being awake. Being awake reminds me of being in a state of consciousness, recognizing that I am a spirit of the great God and have the right to a nationality. Being awake also carries with it a responsibility to teach our people as well. The circle, which is right here, reminds me of the compass that we use to draw a circle around our passions and desires to keep them in the bounds of righteousness. And the last one, dealing with moral good. And if you notice, for me, this was an indicator in reference to keeping it above the neck. Every day striving to build the temple of perfected man within the self, recognizing the virtues within the self. We're often faced with challenges, tests, and lessons to be learned. It is up to us to realize that choices are for the free, that it is up to us to make or mar our fortune. We cannot look outside of self as solutions to our problems. We must go within to meditate and contemplate our divinity. Thought is the cause of it all. And then summary for self in reference to being able to contemplate and reflect on the metaphysical aspects of those symbols or glyphs each day. I strive to continue to study, to gain knowledge, which builds further understanding and wisdom. I have to be still enough and high enough to hear the lessons that the Creator sends to me, no matter what the form in creation. To be able to observe creation, no matter what the form, and contemplate how this relates to me. The tests that I must go through and the lessons to be learned are the path on this journey of divinity that I must take to continue to build the temple of perfected man within. And so, of course, with this, that was not a glyph. This was just revelation to self in reference to another tool that we use in the workshop of the mind, the hammer, dealing with the hammer of repetition, that hammer of truth, to pound in the truth until it becomes a part of every part. Islam. So that's my assignment.
Islam, that's what I'm talking about. Straight to the point. To anoint.
Praise Allah.
Islam. Gratitude.
Gratitude.
Well, all right. Man, Grand National Secretary of the State most definitely gave us some grand draws with that one. You know, I know the other scribe ready to come on in here and give us a grand drawing as well.
Islam.
Islam. Curtis Bay.
Islam. Gratitude, grand measure, goddess, grand measure, Islam. And as the goddess said, let me go ahead on and pull up. Let's see, share screen. Pull up my little assignment. Entire screen. Okay. I'll share. Now let me pull up my homework. Okay. Let me make it bigger for y'all can see it. Am I in there, Dr. Shahid?
Yeah, we got you in there right now.
Okay. I'm going to blow it up so y'all can see, because usually sometimes mine be small for some reason. But anyway, our assignment was to choose from the source material mentioned in our last session, and we were to give examples of how the metaphysics of metaneta can be applied to our lives in real time, and as it relates to the book of the universe, aka book of creation. And like the goddess said, this was a powerful assignment. I really did enjoy doing it because we had to relate it to us and doing just like our ancestors did before us. We had to look at the different glyphs and pick out what give our exegesis on it, on what we thought it was, what we took away from it that it meant. And this is my first symbol that I use. It says world, and I took a picture. When I thought about world, well, of course, I thought about Mother Earth, and this is a picture of Mother Earth, and as you can see, the blue part representing the water and everything, and the other parts representing the land and the solid. But I really did enjoy looking at this when it says this part here, the way I relate this to us in real life, in real time. When I looked at this, I saw, the earth is made of different layers and stuff, but the main, it have three main layers, which is the crust, the mantle, and the core. And it says above the core is Earth's mantle, which is made up of rock containing silicon, iron, magnesium, aluminum, oxygen, and other minerals. The rocky surface layer of Earth, called the crust, is made up of mostly oxygen, silicon, aluminum, iron, calcium, sodium, potassium, and magnesium. And family, what I got from this, when I saw this, I say, now we are a threefold being. And when I saw these three main layers of the earth, the crust, the mantle, and the core, of course, I thought about the spirit, which is the core of us, and the outer core, which is the mantle, which is the soul, and then the crust, which is the body. And then when I looked at it, and I say, wow, the body, our bodies, we need, like it says down here, it's called the crust. It is made up of mostly oxygen. Well, we use oxygen in our bodies, and silicone and aluminum. I didn't look up the aluminum, and I'm not quite sure about the aluminum, but I know we need iron, because when your iron is low in your physical body, you get tired, you be fatigued. We need calcium for our bones and things of this nature. We need the sodium, because all of these help our physical body to function at optimum peak to where it's supposed to function at. The potassium and the magnesium, these are, and the calcium, all of these things are for our bones. And so I see how Mother Earth is related to us as human beings. And also, I looked up how Mother Earth correlates with us. And I thought about how, if you think about the human body, it is like the planet Earth. And what we have in common, we can think of one major similarity, and it says that it consists of a solid, liquid, or gas. And it says both the human body and the planet Earth are largely made up of water. And it says on Earth, this is pretty obvious. From space, you can tell that about 71% of the planet is water. And as you can see from my little picture, it ain't that great, but that's the one I chose. You can see the 70% of water that's covering the Earth. And many times we as people, we don't realize that water makes up, they say 60%. I disagree with that. I think it make up more in our body. But anyway, they say 60% of the human body. And that is why it is so important to drink enough water each day. It keeps your body healthy. And so many of our people, you hear people, I even hear it in my family. I got a cousin who talking about, I don't like water. I don't like to drink water. And your body is made up of water. And so many of our people are dehydrated. And dehydration, this causes diseases, family. This causes diseases and things in the body. And also, when I thought about how the earth is symbolic to us in nature, to us as human beings, and how I can relate that to us in real time, I thought about how we were taught that about the veins and arteries in school, right? And the blood vessels work as part of the circulatory system, and they move blood throughout your body to help keep you alive. Similarly, in Mother Earth, she have rivers and streams serve to carry water throughout the planet, playing a role in sustaining life on Earth. So basically, the rivers and the streams and things in the Mother Earth, that's like the blood flowing through our body, and that's like the blood flowing through her body. The planet Earth, that's symbolic of the veins and things of this nature in our body. And also, what else I had on about the Mother Earth? Oh yeah, and also I thought about when Mother Earth, when she is going through something, she would cleanse herself, and she would have like volcano reactions. She would make floods come, and she would have fires and things of this nature to help purge herself. She takes good care of herself. She take care of herself. And so also we in our bodies, we'll get a fever to help purify whatever's trying to come against us. We'll get a fever to burn that thing up, because our bodies is fighting to heal itself. And when I think about Mother Earth, how we are made up of the substances that she is made up of. And not only her, but Mother Earth, but even the stars, the in the universe. We are made up of all those substances that put that together. But going back to Mother Earth, when I thought about Mother Earth and how we are made of the same thing she's made of, I thought about how long she's been here, how long she's been here, billions and billions of years. And we are taught how we don't forget anything. And it just dawned on me that if I start meditating and going within and focusing on, I'm made of the same stuff that Mother is made up of, and she knows how to heal herself, then how much more should I know how to heal myself? And then I was sharing with my son, the one out there in Texas, the one that keep me on my feet. We was talking, and I made the comment, I say, well, I'm trying to raise my vibration to get to a point where, I can walk in total health. And he reminded me, he said, why are you trying to get to? He said, don't you know that Mother Earth, she already knows how to heal your body. It's imprinted in your DNA. It's already there. Why are you trying to get to something when it's already there for you? All you got to do is tap into it. It ain't you got to get to something. It's already in you. Man, that was so powerful for me to know that it's already in me to know how to heal myself. But I just have to tap into it. And the more I keep saying I got to get to something, I keep putting that off. And I've learned even in the Piscean area, you call those things that be not as though they were. And I tell you, the prophet he just ministered to me on watching what I say and realizing that I ain't trying to get to nothing, because he said, I brought you everything to save a nation. Now I know that, but he said he brought me everything. So that means to heal my body too. And so that was just so powerful to me, y'all. And that's how I related that to to our everyday life. That's the symbol that I picked out, and that's how I related that to our everyday life. And moving right along, my next symbol I picked out was the olive tree. And our ancestors used this symbol right here when they wanted to express something about the olive tree. They used this symbol right here. And when I looked at that, I hope you can see it. It's the color. When I thought about the different colors on this olive tree, you see the black, the red, the green, and all of these different colors. And I thought about us, how we as Moorish Americans, we come in different shades, but we are all one. Like the goddess said earlier, we are all connected. We are not separated. We're all connected. We come from one Father. We come from one Father, and one Mother has given us up. And so we all got the same Father, but we might have different colors, different shades, and all that, but we come from the same source. And also, when I thought about the olive tree, man, that olive tree, there again, talking about the properties of the olive tree, it says it has been known to reduce blood sugar, cholesterol, and uric acid. It says it has also been used to treat diabetes, hypertension, inflammation, diarrhea, respiratory and urinary tract infections, stomach and intestinal diseases, asthma, hemorrhoids, rheumatism. And it says it's a laxative, and it says mouth cleanser, and can be used as a vasodilator, Islam, get my tongue tied. But two things that I noticed about that mouth cleanser, you can do. I used to do, and I still do sometimes. when they say a mouth cleanser, the olive oil, the olive tree, where you can use the oil from the tree to cleanse your, to pull toxins out of your mouth. They call it oil pulling. And what you do is you just get your mouth full of the oil and swish it around in your mouth. And I say hold it in there about 5 or 10 minutes, 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. And this pulls a lot of toxin poisons out of the body, out of your body. And also when it talks about that, the vasodilators, I didn't know what that meant, so I looked that up, and it says vasodilators. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. If not, praise Allah. It says that's medicines that open, also called dilate blood vessels, and the vasodilators affect the muscles in the walls of the arteries and veins. And it says they prevent the muscles from tightening and the walls from narrowing, and so as a result, blood flows more easily through the vessel, and the heart doesn't have to pump as hard. This reduces blood pressure. So we can see how this the olive tree relates to us. And also the olive tree, it says I looked up what was the symbolism of the olive tree, and it talks about how there are many meanings of the olive tree. It is a symbol of friendship and reconciliation, cleansing and healing. Light is symbolic of victory and richness, and above all, a sign of peace. And it is a plant which should be treated with reverence, as it holds many spiritual gifts. And a lot of us know about how we use the expression extending the olive branch as, reaching out in peace. And so also it talks about in the New Testament how it uses the olive tree to help illustrate God's plan of salvation. And it talked about how the olive tree was used in there, where they said something about Paul described Christians as either natural olive branches, those of Jewish background are olive branches that have been grafted onto Jesus. But we don't really get into that. But I will read, and if you're interested in that, you can read that. It's Romans 11, verses 11 through 24. But I'm just going to read the one where it talks about the olive tree. It says, "And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou, being a wild olive tree, were grafted in among them, and with them partaketh of the root and fatness of the olive tree." And that was verse 17. And also in verse 24, it says, "For if thou were cut out of the olive tree, which is wild by nature, and were grafted contrary to nature into a good olive tree, how much more shall these, which be the natural branches, be grafted into their own olive tree?" And we know that I don't follow that being grafted in and all that, but I just wanted to illustrate to y'all how they even use the olive tree to use that example. And I think that's all I had for talking about the olive tree. Yes, and my next symbol that I picked out was this symbol here. And this symbol here means, and when our ancestors was using this symbol, they were referred to as cut. And of course, I thought about, like the goddess was saying, in the workshop of the mind, we have the hacksaw, we have the axe, we have the pruning shears to prune. And when I think about the saw, I thought about how, you want to saw off all the old negative things that may be coming up in your life. You take that saw and you saw them off, or you take that axe and all them old negative thoughts that try to rise up from your lower self. You take that axe and chop it down. And then sometime I thought about the pruning shears, how a lot of times Allah have to prune or cut things out of our lives to cause us to flourish. And as you can see in this picture here, how the man is pruning back the branches, where if you don't prune that branch back, it won't produce like it should. So sometimes Allah have to prune us, cut some things off so we can just flourish in life, so we can be the gods and goddesses that we were sent here to be. And sometimes he had to cut out some of that old naught, a lot of that old naught that we have on the inside of us. And a lot of times we don't even realize it be in there. But then he starts shining that light within your heart, and bam, you see it in there. And then he had to prune it and cut it off so you can flourish and be the gods and goddesses that you come here to be. So Islam family, that's all I had there. That's my measure. Gratitude. That's what I got from our assignment. Islam
is a man. Boy, that's very powerful. Very powerful. Man, the one first portion you put up there is actually a symbol in the glyphs that they use also for a town. Okay. The little cross symbol. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Okay, let me
a grand job with that presentation.
Let me close mine out then. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And okay. Yes, universal symbol. You see them up here?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is actually the same thing that the prophet brought back. And you see it is actually newt is what they call this, but this is actually a symbol for town, so to speak.
Okay. Oh, okay.
When you look at it, and if I was metaphysically looking at this, we know that this is the crown of Lower Kemet right here.
Mm-hmm.
You can see this is a mound, this is a town within the mound, whatever the case may be. And then this actually is a placenta in some cases.
Right. And
this is the ark.
Oh, okay.
Which is the what some people would call expression of the soul to a certain degree. Mm-hmm. And same thing here. They have the owl and different symbols. And then it has also, the same symbol dealing with that town expression.
Oh, okay.
But it definitely represents the terrain, the earth, and I love the measure that you gave when you talked about the core,
right?
Being the spirit, the mantle being a soul, because that spirit clothed with soul right there.
That's right.
And the earth, being a manifestation of the physical body, the crust, so to speak. And it's just a powerful drawing to know what we mean when we go to the heart's core of the matter. And then I like to draw when you was dealing with the olive tree. And nothing wrong with the olive branch, because really that story is talking about how the kingdom was going to be taken away from Israel, and given to another, which Yehoshua told them that.
Right.
Have you not heard that the same block the builder rejected was going to become the chief cornerstone? And he was telling them that the kingdom of heaven was going to be taken from them and given to another.
Oh, okay.
And then that grafting of the olive tree, and symbolically, they said the Gentiles, we know that olive represent us.
Right.
So, nothing wrong with the grafting of it in, as
Okay.
they were speaking, dealing with the plant, because that's us coming into the manifest, basically.
Oh,
In
okay.
other words, it was saying that the Israelites were going to have to sit in the back seat because they were hard-headed, and the Muslims were going to come on the manifest.
Oh, okay.
Do it like it's supposed to be done.
Islam.
I'm just putting it in layman term, but that's what that parable deal with.
Okay.
One of the greatest one that they could have had in the Piscean records. You know what I mean?
Islam.
That wild olive branch
Right.
coming up out of that NBC mindset.
Islam.
You know, to be civilized.
Yeah.
Islamism without the schism.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't see it that way.
You know, we gonna talk that talk now.
I know, right?
Yes, sir. So you talk about the olive tree, man. Go back to add that question there. What we say about that olive tree? It's similar to Islam now, ain't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
You know, I just wanted to add that, but I like the pruning you was talking about and the cutting back, and you know, almost similar to when you deal with even hair. You know, sometimes you got to trim off the edges
mm-hmm.
to have that demonstration and really grow like you want to, you know, like they say, cutting off the split ends.
Yep.
You know, same type of measure in reference to dealing with even the vegetation. And, you know, I would say basically when you cut certain things, it causes the lifeblood of the vegetation to saturate, so to speak,
mm-hmm.
you know, and cause everything to sprout.
Right.
You know, that's just, you know, just a thought of it. But I love, you know, the aspects of talking about how certain things were related, like the blood being synonymous with the water, you know, and rivers that flow and so forth and so on.
Right.
See, all that is called reading the book of creation, observing the book of creation. And these are just, you know, just different aspects that you brought forth. Now think of all the other stuff that we're not observing at that level. And you could have actually went further, you know, with the explanation of what it is that you were speaking of. But all that wisdom you just manifested from there.
Right.
You know, come on, that's powerful.
Islam.
That's powerful. You know, and this is what we mean when we talk about metaphysics. That's why it takes time to sit down,
right,
deal with observation instead of taking things at face value.
Mm-hmm.
Worse, you don't never want to take these symbols and then try to make them be a letter.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you can see all this stuff you missing out on. Because you can't do with that with the letter K.
That's right.
Show me some science in taking the letter A, B, C, D, E, F, or G. And show me what can you make out of a letter A, but it's a letter A.
Right.
Show me how that will benefit you when it comes to reading the book of creation, outside of the letter A being a part of a word that makes something up. Show me some science. You ain't gonna find no more science in it. And the true science that's hidden behind the letter is actually in the number. Because this is what the alchemical products and properties are. Islam. Goodness gracious.
Good gracious.
Oh, man, we're making it plain, ain't we?
Yes, sir. I told you this was a powerful study for me.
Sir. Yeah.
A lot of revelation.
Oh, yeah. Some of our people still ain't gonna get it though.
Yes,
unfortunately, you know what I mean? They'll get it later. You know, we trying to say it live for even the ones in the back of the room.
Yeah.
You know, because see, they so busy, they want to believe it's him.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness.
Goodness gracious.
Mm.
But we see something totally different when we see this. All we got to do is identify with what the object is, and we can tell you what this means. It don't mean no PTOLEMAIC.
That's right.
God almighty, no, these people need to stop the madness. You know, so goodness gracious. Let me get on back over here. You did a grand job, Sister Curta Bay.
Gratitude.
Islamism without the schism. Well, all right. I know our brother Bati Bay fired up now.
Islam. That was so grand measures. Grand measures. And praises and honors previously given. I'm sharing my screen now. Islam.
There we go.
All right. Our assignment. Now, at first, I misunderstood the assignment. I'm not gonna pretend that ain't in me. So, because I was reading this, it says choosing from the source material mentioned in our last session to give an example of how the metaphysical of meta can be applied to your life in the realm in the real time as it relates to the book of the universe, aka the book of creation. And the first thing I just got done reading this book called The Alchemist, and it was talking about it was basically Melchizedek coming in this dude's uh uh life, and he had a legend to fulfill, and that's what he says about everybody. Everybody has a legend they have to fulfill, and in this legend you are given these omens that you have to reach, and these omens would tell you whether yay or nay on certain things. And he had anyways in doing that, certain times that he didn't pay attention to these omens, he would fall victim to what happened. And so a lot of times when you're thinking about us being down in this realm, there's everything that the ancestors was, even the hieroglyphics or the pictograms, they are omens in the sense that they tell us and give us telltale signs of what are things to come or things that we should avoid. One of the things that this young man had seen was some hawks flying in the sky. And he said, and he had a premonition, so he went to the people at the oasis and informed them. And then they held him, and they held him there for a while and said that, hey, you're too young to be understanding these dreams, to interpret dreams. And the chieftain told him, he's like, well, chieftain told him the same thing happened with Moses. He tried to interpret dreams, and he got kidnapped, or he got taken and held. And we know the story of Moses. So when we're looking at these omens or these signs that are before us, which is that meta or the metaphysical aspects of life, those are your ravens, your hawks, all the things in creation that is bringing forth the story. Even the birds chirping in the background, that's telling you a story that you may not necessarily be able to perceive. And so I was going in from that, from that angle, and that's why you see this stuff up here. And it says, I was talking about when I remember getting creation. I remember, or coming to this realm, I remember sitting at a table with somebody sitting adjacent from me, and a patron walking in and saying that a realm needs, the realm needs, people need assistance and whatever. And I want to say growth, but I can't fully recall the conversation. And having when he like a portal opened, or I might have passed out or whatever. And I remember the patron saying that the world is not like it used to be. That's all I remember him before I went in. And then I used to get these premonitions when I was young, and I told the Moors about this. This was after my brother had burnt his arm, and we were in a clinic, and I was trying to put doing those shape that you put in the boxes, and this voice said, I said, how will I know I got there? He said, when the star fits in a circle. And that was revelation to me now, looking at our flag, when the star fits in the circle. And so going into the reason why I chose these ones is justice. And I said justice represents the meiotic balance in the universe, neither picking sides, but balancing out the energies in all realms and really being impartial. I said, and justice is not a negative word. We was brought up to think that justice was a negative word, but justice is also be issued positive, because justice can swing either way. It's a double-edged sword. So justice is all around you. Justice is within you. Even the way that your body moves. If you don't eat correctly, your body's going to execute justice. If you think and if you think correctly or you don't think correctly, your mind is gonna issue justice. Whatever is going on, justice is always on the manifest. And sometimes people want to put their lower desires upon what justice should look like, but justice is not always what it looks like, because you don't understand why that situation was even caused to exist. To get, and a lot of things that we view as oppositions and opponents are really lessons in order to bring the justice on the manifest for us to interpret. And a lot of times we just fail to interpret what we have before our face. The next one is obedience. Oh yeah, and then I said that justice represents the flag, and if you look at the star going back up there, if you look at the flag, our Moorish American flag, where the star, the 5-pointed open green star, which is man, and justice being above his head with the principles, and justice is one of the principles, is all the principles actually exercising and being carried out in real time. So that's another portion of that. Obedience is when one can't exercise this attribute, then there is a grave imbalance within. Without the divine element of love, true peace, freedom, and justice, you ultimately welcome in the five folds of man, which bring you back to the obedience that is always in existence. Chapter 46, teach him obedience, and he shall be blessed. And then chapter 47, it says, from the secrets of Allah, let man learn wisdom and apply to himself the instructions they give. And that's from obedience of thy children. So that's why I brought this ayat in. And that was my understanding on obedience. A lot of times when you're not obedient, even unto yourself, when you're not obedient, you're not listening, you're not paying attention to what Allah is being revealed, then you have that again goes leaning back into the first one, the justice. Justice is always going to be right there to swing his sword. So you have to be the one, you have to get into the point where you're the one yielding the sword and not being and I don't want to say victimized, but being at the mercy of the sword. And then the last one I picked was understanding. So without understanding, we fail to grasp the properties of evolution that understanding stimulates. Understanding is the rock on which man builds himself. So without understanding, we are at the mercy of our own ignorance. And what we desire to understand can ultimately be our prisons, because we desire to understand everything but ourselves. And what comes to mind is ayat 27 to 28, soul of man. General opinion is no proof of truth, for the generality of men are ignorant. Perception of thyself, the knowledge of him who created thee, the sense of worship thou owest unto him, are not these plain before thy face? And behold, what is there more that man, I said man, like I was Terrence Howard, so man needs to know. The gifts, and then I also put the gifts of our understanding are the treasures of Allah, and he appointed to every one his portion, and what measure seemed good unto himself. And understanding, one of the things that I know coming up, the things that we tried to understand was how to get money. And we would do, in understanding how to get money, we would evaluate and think about, we could go get a job, or we can go to the street. So a lot of us went to the street route because it was fast money, and without knowing fully what that was going to throw at you. So we ended up being victims of this, of our own ignorance, not having doing the clear conception, not doing the research. Because a lot of times, if you do the research and I'm gonna say the spreadsheet on it, you're gonna realize that you're gonna spend more time in a cell, or more time down than you are up in that lifestyle. And there may be ones that make it, but you don't know what cost they had to pay to get there. So that also comes in from the understanding. You have to understand what they say, knowledge, know your ledge, know your highs and your lows, know the limitations of your comprehension. Because a lot of times you can find yourself in way worse positions without understanding. And that's why I like this, one of my another one of my favorites is this general opinion, no proof of truth, for generality of men are ignorant, and perception of thyself and the knowledge of him who created thee, the sense of worship thou owest unto him, are not these plain before thy face? And behold, what more is there man need to know? That means that if you understand yourself, and it goes speaks to that Sun Tzu, if you understand yourself, or if you don't understand yourself and you don't understand your enemy, you're gonna lose. If you understand your the enemy but don't understand yourself, you have a grave chance of losing. When you understand yourself well and you understand your enemy, you shouldn't fear 1,000 battles. So it's also knowing what you're up against. What are you going to put yourself? How many foes are you willing to take on at one time? Because them 5 foes will come through and tear your yes up. If they all come together, they're going to tear your yes up. And a lot of times it's all through it's one leads to the other. Instability, misery, weakness, insufficiency, and knowledge, they all are really engrossed in one's lack of understanding. And this is why it is good to, when the chairman, I remember when he came to the Dismal Crips here, he said, do not read a book unless you can find yourself in it. That's a powerful message. Because a lot of us love to read Eric Jerome Dickey's and Terry Wood's books and all these urban books. But can you find yourself in those books? Meaning, can you find the substance that's going to make you an astute learner of who created you? And if you understand who created you, then you understand, you pretty much understand everything else at that point in time. And then all you have to do is knock, and that door is going to be open for you for that understanding to come in and give you the serenity that you're looking for. But a lot of times we just fall victim to our ignorance because we think from the physical realm that we know more than what we really do, and we don't give ourselves the time to. And a lot of times, I'm going to keep it real. Looking at us now, we know more than what we need to do collectively. It's just now getting to it. And so with that, I leave us a common piece. Islam.
And Islam and peace. That's what I'm talking about. And that's just by looking at signs and symbols for conscious minds, for men and women of understanding. We can get these grand degrees of unfoldment, family. I mean, endless possibilities. When it comes to manifesting the wisdom, behind the symbols and what's symbolized, So it's definitely a powerful drawing. It's a powerful drawing. So yeah, when we look at everything it is that our scribes brought forth, it's just that simple. Like we already showed you, what we teach when it comes to the Sabbath or the Sabbath teachings, as they come through our holy prophet and they came through those who came, during the times of the classical approach, so to speak, of the way these things were meant to be demonstrated. It don't get no plainer than the way that we are bringing these measures on the manifest. And we gave our family plenty of different sources. And it's just a lot of information out there that reference a lot of that. When you get into teachings like Sufism and metaphysics of Islam and, the esoteric, exegesis of the teachings and so forth and so on. This is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with the symbols and what's symbolized, emblematic expression, of thought activity. And so that's the key to understanding what we call the language of God, or METU, as opposed to pseudo-hieroglyphs, and Ptolemaic hieroglyphs and, all this stuff that has been originated by Rome, or the Champollion approach. That's the difference between what we teach and what everybody else teaches. We're going to give you the aspect from the geometric expression, as we deal with formulas, and also how these things, have an influence over us and our lives, so to speak, because we are attached to the earth and the earth is attached to us. We're attached to the universe and the universe is attached to us. Everything that's in the earth is in us. Everything in the universe is in us. You know, let that sink in a bit to our family that's out there watching. And once you understand that, you will see how easy it is to really just look at creation, even just to contemplate thy frame, as we say in the Moorish paradigm. Study yourself. You know, all life is thought activity, family. And as that life thrives, it is manifesting different measures of unfoldment, things that we can learn from, wisdom being displayed before us, omnipotence being displayed before us. You see? So yeah, this is a powerful drawing, family. That's what it's all about. So we definitely, after all of this information, if our people were to go back and look into it, they should have a clear conception now. You know, and then we can get to go into a greater height as it relates to this information. So we just say gratitude in Islamism without the schism. And at this time, we're going to go back to our Grand National Secretary of State, you know, and see what she has to bring forth after hearing from our scribes, Islam.
Islam. I'm saying woo-wee. Powerful. Having already given praise and honor where due, you know, just in sitting, listening to the assignments brought forth by my other scribes and your expounding on it, Dr. Shaheed, you know, the whole universe is ours to contemplate, you know, and meditate upon, recognizing as the goddess and God man spoke about that all of this is within ourselves, you know, and it's just it can be mind-boggling at times, but this is why we have got to pull from the ethos of our native plane, which is spirit, to just see how beautifully and wonderfully we are made. And the responsibility, now that we know, the responsibility becomes ours to enlighten not only ourselves, our, you know, the future guiders of the nation, but our brothers and sisters and the rest of the nations of the earth. Because at the end of the day, it's dealing with unfoldment, recognizing that there's more power in love divine than there is the illusion of hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harms. And we know, just in going back through our history, the standards and the moral principles that our ancestors brought forth and stood upon for millenniums. You know, so we know that these principles work. And we are blessed here as a people to be able to receive it again, to be able to read from what our ancestors left for us to read without a remix or all kinds of let me try to bury this, and or let me try to put myself in the history, you know, etch out your name, blow off your nose, or whatever, you know, when it comes down to the various etchings on the walls of time, and make the whole world come under that his story demonstration, you know. So truth cannot change or pass away, and one truth doesn't contradict another truth. So when you look at it from the universal aspect or the universal order of things, then you see it's ludicrous to try to sit there and, as you had stated before in last night's class, go back and forth, toe to toe. That's a waste of energy. It's a waste of time. When you're looking at it that we're all here to do the work of what our Creator has called out for us to do, and it's got to be of a benefit to humanity, not coming from the selfish self, then indeed that is a grand blessing to be able to demonstrate. So this is just powerful, powerful class. Yeah, I really don't have any more words to say other than I'm humbled. I'm honored to be here and just be able to be amongst my family and receive these these knowledges, which become understanding and in essence elevate to wisdom. So gratitude more for calling me forth. Much peace and love to all of my Moorish kin. Islam.
And gratitude and peace and love to you as well, Grand National Secretary of the State. You know, grand degrees of wisdom in just that moment of light, you know, that you shown forth just then. So, man, the best is yet to come. Islamism without the schism. Well, all right. Well, we call forth our other scribes. Islam.
Islam.
Sister Curta Bay.
Islam. And like the goddess said, you know, this was such a powerful demonstration that we had this morning. and just like you said, you know, we giving you the truth here. And because we love you, we want you to know the truth. And it's so important that we understand, like you were saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And like you say, you can't get that from an alphabet. You can't get that from A, B, C, D, what. You can't get that from an alphabet. But that picture, when you go within and contemplate, and I'm still contemplating and unfolding the fact that I am made of everything in this universe. I'm made of the same thing that Mother is made of. I'm made of everything that's out in the universe. I'm made of the things that the stars, they call us stardust. I'm made of all of that. My mind still is unfolding to that. And Dr. Shaheed, I wanted to ask you, you remember when we did that periodic chart, and I tried to pull that thing up, and I wanted to see if I could tie that in with, you know, with the Mother Earth, but I forgot how that thing worked. But do you think that I would be able to tie that in to that? You remember when we did that periodic chart, and it had helium and had the different numbers with it and stuff? Would that correlate with the Earth and what we're talking about now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because what you're dealing with is the elements that's coming from the periodic table.
Okay. Yeah. I just forgot.
You just remember, you take the atomic mass. When you just add all that stuff up together, you remember each atomic mass go back to the letter in the gematria.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. And then you go in there and you do your breakdown.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I couldn't figure that. I couldn't figure it out. So I said, well, I ain't gonna waste a whole lot of time trying, because I need to get my other stuff together. But I was trying. But I said, well, I forgot how we did all that stuff.
Yeah, well, you know, we got the videos on there, but you can also go into the God Code book you got. You know, and it actually show you too.
Oh, okay.
You know, but you know, between that and Mustafa Gadala's Egyptian alphabetical creation cycle.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. That's what I have, family. That's all I have for right now. Islam, wonderful class, though, powerful class.
Islamism without the schism. Well, all right, Brother Bati Bey.
Islam. You know, Islamism. You know, at first I used to think that looking at certain like when bugs, you know, some people say like ladybugs are good luck, and if a bird poops on you, that's good. That's good luck. No, I don't believe the last one is. I just but looking at like when certain birds, you know, even the native brethren, they would, if they seen a raven, the raven spoke to a spiritual sense. And that's something that we have always had in our cultures at one point in time. People, but they tried to switch it up by saying if a black cat crossed your path and it was this, or if you step on a, and these are false signs. So they tried to utilize our, our metaphysical understanding, something that was inherent in us, since Adam Cobb, man, because he knew the nature of all those things, and that's why the one didn't want to bow, because he could name all these things, and still that one thought he was better than what it is. So we understand, like when we see certain, we got to understand and take that to the fact that when we see these things, it's speaking to us in a language of our cosmic body, a language of our cosmic understanding, that wisdom that comes out from the highest plane of spirit life. And getting back and interpreting, we will see things that a lot of things will be more so revealed to us, and not just think that it's just gonna, the signs come from everywhere. We can't just limit the signs coming from a book, or even signs coming from certain conversation. We have to incorporate all things, because we are ultimately all things. We come from a universal power source, so therefore that which we will return, and we have the ability to connect into it. And so that's all I want to say with that. Islam, peace and love, grand class.
Islam, grand man, to you as well, for that grand droid. And we just say praise be to Allah for all it is that you have brought forth, and that you will continue to bring forth, because a lot of sciences have become almost like a lost word when it comes from our people, because they've been so far in looking for things in what Rome had to say. And so it's almost like a foreign tongue we speak, even though we're speaking our own tongue and language. A lot of people, they always have to be validated by Rome, and that's why ones continue to fall by climate. So we give honors to you, grand man, for all that you do and all that you've done and all that the scribes are doing as a whole, because again, the best is yet to come. So at this time, we're going to turn the meeting over into the hands of our sister Curta Bay, so that she can take us on up in the third heaven.
Oh, Islam. January 15, 1929, a warning from the prophet to be read at every meeting. I hereby inform all citizens that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be a severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any citizen or group of citizens who hold malicious feelings toward the government or the prophet, or violates the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in the prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet, Noble Jew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the government is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the government. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. By the order of Prophet Noble Jew Ali. A holy covenant of the Asiatic nations. Ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when ye separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity. and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortune of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Islam, Islam, Islam. This meeting is officially adjourned according to Act 2. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Go in peace, Moors, Islam, grand class, gratitude.
Grand class, gratitude.
Oh,
Great
Islam,
class.
praise
Powerful.
Allah.
Gratitude.
Islam,
Dr.
Islam, Islamism.
That
Without the skip.
love.
Peace and
Peace
love.
and love. That's what I'm talking about.
Peace and love.
Peace and love to the young Moorish American Muslim.
Praise Allah.
All right now, little secretary.
Yes.
Islam.
Edie, why do you have to write down everything?
Well, we know.
Powerful class. Gratitude.
Islam,
Moorish kid.
gratitude.
Praise be to Allah. Islam. We'll see our Moorish kid in Sunday school.
Islam.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Islamism. That's what I'm talking about. Goodness gracious. Robert say out of the mouth of babes come the wisdom.
That's
Praise
right.
Allah.
Yeah, man, we want to give honors to our family as well. Brother Yakub El Hamid Gamma Bay, Born Dog, Prentice Edwards, Facebook user, Brother Ka, Seem, Rahim El, Swift Angel, and Divine Minister. We already know, Brother K, Kara El Bay. Honors to you, grand man. All is well. And, honors to all of y'all. See you in the next session. Peace and love.